Oh my God, the Kevin the Kraut, Gerard, Haran, bang bang.
Bang bang.
2 of the playoffs, week 15.
Yeah, we're gonna change this show from fantasy football jibber jabber to Nomads Fantasy next year.
Oh really? How are you doing down there? Gerard is calling us down. Where are you exactly in the South again? I forgot.
I am in Jacksonville, North Carolina right now. This is next to Camp Lejeune, the largest military installation in the United States. Very, very proud and excited to open up for my buddy Catfish Cooley tonight. Very, 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 very funny dude. Cannot wait. You can check out.
No relation to Chris Cooley, I take it.
No relation to Chris Cooley that I know of, although they probably would get along famously.
I bet. How did we do last week? I tell you what, it is a sin for people not be paying attention. 5 and 3 last week with the bets. 2-1 on the show, 5 and 3, 47 and 29%. Sorry, 47 and 29 for the year. All we do is make money. And I want to show you something. You know, I only want you that. That is the second easiest piece of winning free money. That is the Jets under 7.5 for the year. I will brag for one thing. I told you Austin Eckler is going to kick ass. He had 40 points. And I told you Lockett was going to suck and Kyler Murray were going to suck, and they did. That Pittsburgh under, that was your bet. Great pick. Oh, yeah. That punt ran back for a touchdown was a little bit scary because that made things interesting. But overall, we were good.
1 point's all we need, buddy.
I know it. I know it.
Even ugly is still winning, Kev.
We're doing damn well. I tell you what. Why don't you kick it off, my good friend? Give me your cold
Kev,
cash quarterback.
First, I want to thank the Kraut because off air he talked me out of picking Dallas -3 against the Chicago Bears there.
Yeah, didn't like that.
Very, very close to pulling the trigger on that one, and the Kraut talked me off the ledge there, saved me a couple shekels. I appreciate you there.
You're welcome.
All right, well, it gets a little weird for the format of our show, obviously, this week. Now we're talking in leagues. There's only 4 teams left in leagues, so you know I'm assuming that we're talking mostly to daily fantasy folks. And if you're a daily fantasy player and you didn't pony up the cash for Lamar Jackson last night, I don't know what's wrong with you, man. Like, I mean, what more do you need to see? I knelt at the church of Jackson after being a doubting Thomas disbeliever last year. I've been kneeling at the church of Lamar Jackson from week 2 this year. And also, I posted on Facebook earlier because everybody, who saw Lamar Jackson going? Me. I saw Lamar Jackson. You called it. I loved Lamar Jackson. I wanted the Giants to draft Lamar Jackson. If not, at 2 overall when they drafted Barkley, I wanted them to trade back into the first round and get him. I liked 2 quarterbacks and 2 quarterbacks only. I liked Baker Mayfield, which looked great last year, doesn't look good this year, and Lamar Jackson. Those are the, I didn't like Darnold. I think I'm going to be proven to be right about him. I hated Rosen. How many times did I tell you Rosen was trash with an LA
argument
team behind him? And people were mad at me about it. People were crazy. I even got called an anti-Semite by some people. Look at Rosen now. Jesus. Yeah, I know, right? That's the world we live in. And I also didn't like Josh Allen, and Josh Allen looks pretty good, so I could be wrong on that one. But I loved Lamar Jackson. I watched Louisville games, and I'm telling you, I thought Jackson was amazing, and it's proven to be true. But the guy I want to talk about, my cold cash guy, Kevin, you went ahead and you talked about him this week. Again, I'm staying out of the top 5. I think I love Jimmy Garoppolo against Atlanta this week. I love Jimmy Garoppolo against Atlanta. The only thing that scares me is if they get up way too big. But Jimmy Garoppolo against that awful secondary with a dead man walking as head coach, after the weeks that they've had, they've played 8-win teams 4 weeks in a row. Give me Jimmy G against the Atlanta secondary.
My cold cash quarterback for $6,100 is Jimmy Garoppolo.
There we go.
5th highest completion and 7th in yards per attempt. San Fran gets to the red zone 3rd most, and Atlanta the 6th worst red zone defense. Garoppolo 22 points in 3 out of 4. Atlanta has allowed 2 out of their last 3 quarterbacks faced to score at least 29. And Jimmy Garoppolo bangs porn stars in public. He gets a beer and a high five out of this guy.
That's right, baby.
I tell you, I put up a poll on Jibber Jabber. I have Russ Wilson or Garoppolo, and I'm so damn torn.
Well, I think you got to go Russ Wilson, but you know I'm going with the rules outside of the top 5. I'd also, you know, I'm not going to use him as a sleeper. You can't use him as a sleeper for these last 8. Now, I've been hotter on this guy than you have, but I tell you what, if you need somebody, Ryan Tannehill there, he's sitting there against an easily good matchup there against Houston. So Ryan Tannehill would be a guy also if
Right.
I just wanted to throw somebody out so, we can't both have Jimmy G there.
Who do you like a cold cash running back?
My cold cash running back this week, man. I got to tell you, who's the number one fantasy running back in football right now, Kevin?
It is your boy Derrick Henry, without a question in the world.
My preseason picks are looking pretty good right now, man. I'm going to go with your pick from last week. I'm going to go Austin Eckler catching passes out of the backfield against the tough Minnesota front. Austin Eckler is going to be my pick of the week.
In the absolute stone cold lock of the matchup of the year, Chris Carson, $7,500. The Panthers rush defense. Panthers allow 5.26 yards a carry. A league allows on an average 3.2 yards, 3.2% of the time per carry for a touchdown allowed. The Panthers, 7%. 21 rushing touchdowns allowed by the Panthers defense. And they've allowed more. They've allowed more dudes in their end zone than Carmen Electra did back in 1998. And no Rashad Penny. That is an app. This is the lock of the year matchup.
But 2 weeks ago, Penny was my lock and Carson was your lock, and we thought it was going to be a one or the other, and they both put up over 24 points.
Yeah, Chris Carson is the lock of the year this year. Unless he gets injured or there's a goddamn hurricane.
Kenny Galladay. Maybe Stafford comes back this week. Fingers crossed on that. They haven't shelved him for the year yet. But if not, it doesn't matter. Kenny Galladay has been catching passes, man. No matter who the quarterback is, I love him against Tampa Bay and what's going to be a shootout. Give me Kenny Galladay.
Oh, for $7,200, you can have Kenny Galladay from the Kraut himself. Jesus Christ. No, folks, we do not plan. We don't do pre-show planning. This is all spontaneous. Marvin Jones on IR, check. 3 touchdowns from Blah, all to Galladay, check. Highest yards in the air allowed by Tampa Bay defense, check and mate. Give me Kenny Galladay all day.
Galladay Road. Well,
you know it.
I'm the guy that gave the last 2 offsetting picks. Who's your second cold cash then there?
For tight end?
No. For wide receiver, since we both have the same one. People don't come to hear consensus.
Christ.
They don't come to hear consensus.
I can't believe that either. Without looking, I like Zach Pascal against the Saints. They need the game. The Saints just got beat up defensively. And the Colts need the game as well without even looking. But I like Zach Pascal. I'm starting him in my league. I don't have any stats on you right now, but Zach Pascal.
All right.
I like him a lot.
Cold cash tight end for week 15 is Kevin Gootee's favorite player, the superstar from the University of Notre Dame. Put your hands together for the one and the only. No, not Tyler Eifert.
Oh, Zach Rudolph.
Yeah.
Oh,
the worst team against the tight ends in the league, the Los Angeles Chargers. They can't cover anybody. They have a quarterback who turns the ball over, and Stephon Diggs is banged up. Thielen is still banged up. I love
Thielen's coming back, they say. Did you say Thielen comes back?
Yeah, but he's banged up though. It's a hamstring. He's gonna be on. He's gonna be on a what's it called? A restricted snap count. Give me Kyle Rudolph. He's been trending week after week, Kevin. He's been trending. Ride the hot trend.
Right.
Give me Kyle Rudolph.
I'm curious to see how that comes on. We differ again this time, and for the low price of only $3,900, Tyler Higbee, 19 targets in 2 weeks. 14 of those 19 are catches. And 223 yards and a touchdown. This is the only Tyler worth counting on this week. See Tyler Boyd, Tyler Eifert, and Steven Tyler. None of those guys are worth the shit this week.
No doubt about it. The number 2 overall pick in the draft. I think this is his one game. He's been getting healthier. Give me Saquon Barkley from the New York Giants against a putrid Miami team. You got Eli Manning coming back in for week 2. Check down Manning, back in there again. Give me Saquon in a game where you're going to have to score more than 17 points, hopefully, for the New York Giants, who have not scored, Kevin, more than 20 points in how many weeks?
I don't even know. I'm going to say 4. Against Detroit was the last time they did, right?
Yeah.
My cold cash flex player, Raheem Mostert for $5,200.
I like that. I almost went with that.
3 straight games with a score, going for 4 against the Falcons. It's a committee situation for the running backs, but the other running backs in that committee are like the Giants pass rush, non-existent.
Yeah, Mostert seems to be riding up the food chart there, but again, it's just a little bit of a it's a little bit of a week-to-week thing. 1 week it's Tevin Coleman, 1 week it's Matt Breida. Now it seems to be Mostert. I mean, if you got him, play him, but definitely play him as a flex. I think you have to go with something a little bit more. You got to go with something a bit more.
I agree. Cold, hot trash quarterback. Let me hear it.
Hot trash quarterback. You're not gonna like this one. I don't think that you can play Baker Mayfield this week. Baker Mayfield has fallen to the 33rd ranked passer rating in the league. I know he's got a favorable matchup in Arizona, but with everything going on with Odell Beckham Jr. and knowing that Baker Mayfield tries everything possible to keep him happy, they're going to force feed a hurt Odell Beckham Jr., who's going to be covered by, even though he's older, still one of the best coverage cornerbacks in the league.
Patrick Peterson.
Yep, I don't like Baker Mayfield this week. I know that he's a hot pick for people. He's ranked on the site that I'm on here, CBS. He's ranked as the 6th best pick this week. I just don't see it happening. I see a young quarterback having a bad year, trying to force feed a disgruntled, injured player. That, to me, they should turn around and hand the ball off to Chubb 30 times in this game, and then 10 of his 30 passes should be, dropped off to Kareem Hunt. So, yeah, I just I have no stats to back this up. I just see a crystal ball bad game for none other than Baker Mayfield.
Josh Allen is not worth $6,000 here or in Suriname. He is facing the 4th best pass defense and the 3rd best scoring D. That's a lot of quality D. That's the best.
Best. Since they got Minkah Fitzpatrick, the best defense in the NFL.
Yeah, that's a lot of quality D. By the way, the best DG name ever, quality D.
Minkah Fitzpatrick from my hometown of Old Bridge, New Jersey, by the way.
Is he? Nice.
Yep, and he went to St. Peter's Prep, which is literally right next door to where I live in Jersey City. So
yeah, hopefully not near that bodega that just got shot up.
No, that's Greenville. Greenville's a rough area.
Yeah, man. And it's also going to be garbage weather. And remember, as you kind of alluded to, Pittsburgh D so good, only 2 quarterbacks have scored 18. As I told you, Kyler Murray would be hot trash last week, and I was right, as will Allen be this week.
Yep. Ezekiel Elliott, hot trash.
Ooh.
Sinking ship. All the rats leave first, and there's no bigger rat in the NFL than Zeke Elliott. He's going up against a terribly tough front line. He's got Aaron Donald up the middle. He's got fast linebackers on the outside, and nobody knows them better than Wade Phillips, the defensive coordinator of the Los Angeles Rams. They're coming in there to stop the run. I do not like this matchup for Zeke Elliott, who right now I'm looking at DraftKings. He's the 4th most expensive running back this week. I know if you have him, you have to play him, but I don't like Zeke Elliott in this matchup.
I said it before, and I say it again. Joe Mixon, PU. Back-to-back losses make Belichick crankier than Lena Dunham at a straight white fraternity party. Nope.
All right.
Add in
I'll allow it.
Yeah, add in a mini Spygate issue and a Pats D that has allowed 14.5 to running backs just twice. They're going to shut down. In fact, I'm probably going to sit him in my other league. I got to think of another flex to start, but Mixon against that defense and a hopped-up Belichick, nope, not buying that.
Sit Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams is Aaron Rodgers' only big-time option, but he's the 5th most expensive wide receiver this week, and Chicago's D is turning it up lately. Khalil Mack, is remembered that he's Khalil Mack, playing against the decrepit Giants and the falling-apart Cowboys hasn't hurt, but the Chicago's trending in the right direction. Devontae Adams has been banged up all year, and he's going to be the guy that they key on in that offense. I think Devontae Adams is going to have a rough day against Chicago in Green Bay.
All right. I can see it. They always do. Next up, if I hate Josh Allen, you better believe I hate Josh Brown. Perimeter receivers do not do well against Pittsburgh. Just ask Cooper Kupp, 0 PPR. OBJ, 12 in 2 games. And L. Fitzgerald with 5 PPR. Again, bad weather. And Mike Tomlin is going for a playoff run and making sure that he hits that crowd, gets his bet of 9 wins as a bet from Vegas. So do not like John Brown this week against Pittsburgh.
Okay. Sticking with that, let's go with Jacob Hollister, tight end Seattle, going up against the best coverage duo outside of Dallas, although Van Der Esch is hurt. Best coverage duo and linebacker in the NFL. In the Carolina, where I am right now, Panthers. So, yeah, Jacob Hollister's come on strong for Seattle. They always seem to have a no-name tight end, whether it's Luke Wilson or the guy who was banging out Hope Solo there, whatever his name was.
Jeremy Stevens.
Stevens, that's right. Yeah, give me stay away if you have him. I mean, right now it looks like he's the 11th ranked. He's the 11th ranked. So he's top half of the league. He's the 11th ranked on DraftKings. Jacob Hollister's going to have a bad day against Carolina. I would much rather save the money, go down to the 18th ranked tight end, Kyle Rudolph, and put that extra $600 somewhere else.
Here you just brought up a key point: spending money where you don't need to. And here's a guy that you are paying for his name, and that is good old Hunter Henry, $5,200. Why? No one shuts down the tight end like the Vikings. How many touchdowns have the Vikings allowed to opposing tight ends? One.
None.
One.
Wow.
That is it. You're paying for the name, the aforementioned Tyler Higbee, $3,900. You're saving $1,300. That's money well spent in other places. Better than a tight end spot.
Okay. Leonard Fournette. Flex trash. Leonard Fournette. Here's the variance on Fantasy Pros. Are you ready? You want to talk about a variance? Leonard Fournette is averaging 10% probability being the fourth best running back this week. Wow.
Oof.
60% probability being the 24th best running back this week.
Oof.
So you tell me, you're paying for the fifth best running back in the NFL. There's a 60% probability he's going to be 24th. Now, he can go anywhere from 4 to 24, but that's a big risk right there. Oakland does not do well against the running backs. We get that. But Leonard Fournette with no quarterback, I don't know.
Not a good spot for that at all. I agree. How bad do owners feel, Jip? But then again, if you took him higher than the third round, you're a dum-dum to start with.
It's the way the draft goes, Kev, man. I mean, it's the way the draft goes. When there's a run on running backs, you gotta get somebody, you know. It's the way it goes. I mean, hey, I took a big hit on Damian Williams this year.
Me too. I had him.
This was the perfect year to have a bad draft slot, to have all of the consensus picks taken before you got there and be stuck with Dalvin Cook, 9th overall.
Or Derrick Henry.
Yeah. This was the perfect year to pick 9, 10, 11.
Is Lamar Jackson a first-round pick next year in fantasy?
Yes, has to be. He's the ninth ranked running back in the NFL.
Yeah. At what spot do you consider taking him?
One. I'm taking him 1 overall next year.
Are you really?
He's the 9th ranked running back.
Yeah. You don't think they're going to figure him out, and that whole parade's going to stop cold in its tracks?
No, you know what, man? If I lose, I lose. But I thought that last year. I thought that early this year. Dude, at some point, you just have to realize that you're witnessing something that's never happened before and ride the tide. And if you lose, you lose. But wherever I am in the draft slot, Lamar Jackson's being drafted.
Tyler Boyd, hot trash, flex. Again, this is lazy. I don't care. But Stephon Gilmore, and as I said before, 2 straight losses. 3 touchdowns allowed the wide receivers all year. Tyler Boyd, 12 PPR and 3 straight. Good, but reverts to his old disappointing self. I can think of the patch just whip the living hell out of him and that team because
that's what I think. That's right there. That's what I think of Tyler Boyd. Anybody who has Tyler Boyd, right here.
Right in the gash.
Right there.
3 sleepers. Boom. Give me one.
Ryan Fitzmagic. The Giants cut ties finally with Janoris Jenkins. He can go back to whatever trap he called out of. Janoris Jenkins is gone. That means the kill your team bees are there. You got Baker. You got Beal. You got Ballantyne. You got Love. They have exactly, between the 4 of them, not even 4 years of NFL experience. This defense is a travesty to begin with. The one legitimate pro that they have is now out the door. You got Fitzmagic going up against the worst defense in the league. I can see this being one of his vintage 5-touchdown games, man. They don't have the coverage where he's going to throw the ball up for grabs 3 times a game. You know it, but they don't have the secondary that's going to come down with it. So I absolutely love Fitzmagic this week. Matter of fact, Fitzmagic is 8th overall for me. I would take Fitzmagic over Kyler Murray. I would take Fitzmagic over Baker Mayfield. I would take Fitzmagic over Carson Wentz. I would take Fitzmagic over Jared Goff. Kirk Cousins, Gardner Minshew. Fitzmagic, to me, is a must-start for a lot of people.
Can I just tell you, while you're right as soon as you said his name, I looked at something in my league. I have Matt Ryan in my league, right? And I looked to see who was out there, and Ryan Fitzpatrick is out there. I just picked him up and sat Matt Ryan. I just did that.
You know, that's tough, man. I mean, you got Matt Ryan's a must start, but he's going up against the best pass defense in the NFC.
Austin Hooper banged up. He lost Calvin Ridley for the year too.
Yeah.
And they're going to run, and who's left? Julio. They're going to triple.
He has a horrible offensive line. He's going up against the best pass rush in the NFC.
Yep, pass. Fitzmagic's in. My first sleeper is our boyfriend from last week, and that's none other than Darius Slayton for $4,800. 32 touchdowns. 32. That's one per team in the NFL. To wide receivers by the Dolphins defense. Slayton dropped a 32 PPR bomb against that letdown against the Philadelphia Eagles. Give me Slayton against a dog shit secondary by the Dolphins.
The 33rd, somehow worse than the New York Giants, the 33rd ranked pass defense in the league is 32nd ranked pass defense in the league is
Arizona Cardinals.
Cincinnati Bengals. Julian Edelman. Give me Julian Edelman. 21st on fantasy on DraftKings. Cheap. Julian Edelman this week. When they start filming people, you know that they're getting serious again out there in New England. Brady once again, the GH that he had in the first 2 weeks that had us really surprised he could throw the deep ball has clearly worn off. He's gone back to second foot, hits the ground, get the ball out. Julian Edelman. If you're in a PPR, must have. Julian Edelman's going for 10 and 100 this week.
A.J. Brown out of my bench last week, but didn't hurt me advancing to the next round of the playoffs. Killing it. 10 wide receivers have scored 18 or more against the Texans. That's filthy. Also, Texans top 10, obviously allowing wide receivers to score. He is the guy, as you said before. You loved Tannehill. Why not love A.J. Brown for $6,000?
Hey, I was very high on this guy early in the year. I was even higher after he got traded. Then he got hurt. And people forgot about him. Give me some Emmanuel Sanders. If I love Jimmy G, that means he's got to throw the ball to somebody. Emmanuel Sanders is going to be the guy. Give me some Emmanuel Sanders. He's right now the 20th wide receiver on DraftKings. 20. There's 19 guys ahead of him. So there's going to be some serious value there. Again, I'm hoping if you've been listening to us for 15 weeks, you're smart enough to have paid the money, paid the premium for Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews last night. If you didn't, shame on you, okay? Pay the premium, and then you look to fill in elsewhere, and this is one of those places where you're not going to lose anywhere, right? You got Emmanuel Sanders is 20th overall and 47th overall and 20th in wide receivers. People that cost more than him. Amari Cooper going up against Ramsey, Los Angeles Rams. Keenan Allen against Minnesota and Xavier Rhodes. Jarvis Landry. We already talked about how consensus thinks Beckham is going to get force-fed. Allen Robinson, good matchup. Allen Robinson, but still has Mitch Trubisky throwing him the football. These are all people that cost more than $2,000 more than Emmanuel Sanders does. Give me Emmanuel Sanders up against that horrible Atlanta defense.
If we're in the bargain bin section at Target and finding some, nicely priced Blu-rays for $8 a pop, let's look at Patrick Laird for $4,500.
Oh,
11.
You did.
I love. He had
Eric on us here.
Yeah, I know, right? 11 PPR last week. In the last 3 out of 4 and 15 carries. There's no one behind him, and facing a dog shit tired and jackrabbit-less Giants defense this week.
You are in fantasy. If you're in daily fantasy, I'm a big believer in the handcuff. I'm a big believer in the handcuff for daily fantasy. Get the quarterback and his wide receiver. If you're going with Jimmy G, make sure you have George Kittle or make sure you have Emmanuel Sanders. If you're going to go with who was your – you were Jimmy G also.
Yeah.
I mean, who would you do – let me ask you, who would you do if you went Russell Wilson? If you went Russell Wilson, who would you handcuff?
Metcalf.
Metcalf?
Yeah.
Metcalf would still be the guy?
Yeah.
I don't know. Gordon's playing a lot of snaps, man.
He is, but Metcalf is a red zone threat. He's big and he's fast. He's like 6'6" or whatever. He's the guy in the red zone for sure. Lockett's been too banged up. He was great, but fell off the face of the earth. It's Metcalf for me if I have Russ Wilson. That's for sure.
Yeah. All right.
First, though, let's hear from our good friends over at Black Betty's, Route 35.
Hey, what's up, buddies?
Sayreville. I tell you who's hotter than a pistol is good old Tom Borowski himself. He's something like 8 out of his last 9 with the picks. So
he didn't like you razzing him, so he got serious about it.
He is. He's killing it. All right, so here we go. Black Betty's.
The girls have been straight fire as we look for our 9th win in 10 weeks. This week, we're taking the Bills -2 in Pittsburgh. Buffalo is the real deal, so lay the points and get paid.
And now it's time for free money. Pick number 1.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers given 3.5 at the Detroit Lions. I think Bruce Arians has them going in the right direction. Todd Bowles has the front 7 working real well. He needs to work on the secondary there. The Detroit Lions are falling apart a little bit to me. I think that the Lions are going to have to score a lot of points to stay in this game, and I don't think that they can, especially, as you said, Marvin Jones is out for the year. They don't have a running back per se. They got Bo Scarborough. That lasted for a week. Matt Patricia is the bloom has come off that rose a little bit, hasn't it?
Sure.
Now, if Matt Stafford plays, this changes a little bit for me. But with the practice squad quarterback, no Marvin Jones, and no running back per se, I don't think that they have a defense that can stop the dual-headed threat. Although Evans is out for the year, though, you're going to see a little more O.J. Howard in this game. I like the Buccaneers only 3.5 at Detroit.
Excuse me, just want to get on here. Thank you. I'm going to get on the Tennessee bandwagon for -3 points. They are 6-1 against the spread of late, 5-0 against the AFC, and the Houston Texans are 2-5 out of their last 7. Tennessee needs that game. I see Houston just, I don't know. The Tennessee's playing like a man on fire, and like I said, that pass defense is atrocious. They can cover 3 at home. You're going to tell me these teams are even after what I've seen the last few weeks? They're even teams on a neutral? Nope. Give me the Titans -3.
I feel the same way. Seattle over Carolina. I can't believe that this game's only 6 right now. Are you kidding me? Give me Russell Wilson. You're telling me Russell Wilson is less than 1 touchdown better than Kyle Allen? Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and take that. Yeah, give me Seattle -6 at Carolina.
After a loss, too, and I took the Seattle Seahawks on Sunday night. I thought they were going to pull it out. The Rams, I thought, were almost dead and buried. But
yeah,
they got smoked. They got smoked badly.
You chased the loss, all right? If anybody out there is struggling with the same addiction Kevin is, go ahead and seek counseling. If you're 5-0, take the money. Don't chase the loss, all right? Kevin
5-2. I don't know, 5-3 on that one.
Kevin's 75% on the year, which is unheard of. He'd be 85% on the year if he didn't chase the damn loss.
I like that game. All right. Second pick, teaser time. The aforementioned, everyone's going to love it. I don't care. I'm paying the price, but I'm going to go tease it down. The New England Patriots are from 9.5 down to 3.5. Fun facts, Pats 10-0 after back-to-back losses straight up. And against the spread, 8-2. And when they cover, it is by an average of 15 points or more. They are going to smoke them. But I'm going to be safe, so that way they don't get backdoored -3.5. You better believe it. Second half of that teaser, who the hell are the New York Football Giants laying 3.5 points at home? Give me the Dolphins up to +9.5. The Dolphins 7-2 of late. The Giants 3-6 against the spread of late, and 1-7 against the spread at home. 9.5. Are you kidding me? No Janoris Jenkins, but what did it matter anyway when he was playing? Give me the Miami Dolphins +9.5 and the Pats -3.5.
I like that. I'll tell you what. I'm going to do a teaser with the Pats as well for my third pick, bud.
All right.
I'm going to tease the Denver Broncos up.
Oh, you son of a bitch. That was my third pick.
I'm going to tease the Denver Broncos up to 15.5, and I'm going to tease the Pats down to 3.5. I feel the exact same way that you do. Pats are going to steamroll the Bengals, but 9.5 is still tough when they can't score points on offense. I love Drew Lock. I love the swagger that he's bringing. I also love the fact that he used to throw the pipe to Lamar Hunt's granddaughter, so he's already effed the Kansas City Chiefs once.
I didn't know that fact. That's a fun little fact right there.
That's a true story. You can go look it up. Drew Lock, when he was at the University of Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri there, he was throwing pipe to Lamar Hunt's granddaughter, who was a certified smoke show herself. Then he left her for a new Instagram model. This kid's living the dream out there. And I think he's got that defense is coming along. Vic Fangio is doing exactly what New York Giants fans hoped and wished and prayed for, showing progress throughout the year. This team is better than it was the first time that they met. I like Denver, but I don't like them enough to pick them. I like them enough to not get their doors beat down 16.5 points.
Well, before you say they get their doors beat down, of course, I have stats. The Broncos 5-1 of late against the spread, 4-1 against the spread on the road, 7-3 against the spread in Kansas City. So, cover Central, you better believe it. I was going to take in the second half of that teaser, and I just talked myself out of it. The Atlanta Falcons up to 16.5, but I'm not going to do that. I do not trust that at all. Something. But the problem is this: that could be let down Central for the Niners. They're going to do enough just to win, I think, but blow them out like that, 17 points. I don't know, man. But the Falcons have so many guys on IR.
Kev, it's not enough. Let me tell you why. I'll tell you my evolution of thought last night. I saw the Jets getting 14.5 points. I said, you know what? They may be able to backdoor on this. I said, let me be safe. I'll tease them. I'll tease the Jets to 20.5, and then I'll take the other half on the Patriots. And then at the last second, I bailed. I said, you know what? I still don't know. And they lost by 21. I would have lost. So if it's not enough, it's not enough.
No. They won. They covered it. They lost by 21 because what I did, and I'm 0-1
for the week. They didn't cover.
No, because I teased it to 20. I was getting 22 points, and they lost by 21. Or is it 23 points I was getting?
14.5 up to 6 is 20.5.
20.5.
They would have lost by half.
No. It was late in the day. It went down. It was at 17, and I got it at plus 23. But I lost.
Okay.
But I teased the under. I teased it up to the over, went under 50.5, and that got smoked. At first, it was looking all right, but then so I lost that. So I'm 0-1 to start the week. So what I am going to do is this.
The point I was trying to make is that if you don't like them at 15, you're not going to like them at 20.
No. I'm still going to keep the Denver Broncos as the first half of my leg. What I am going to take is the Buffalo under to 30. Looks like 35.5 is the number. Am I seeing right? Or so 41.5 under. Bills under 5 out of their last 6 games, 7 out of their last 8 on the road, 4 out of 5 under. Well, I don't know what the hell that was for. Pittsburgh 5 out of 5 under, 8 out of their last 12 have gone under in Buffalo, and 7 out of 8 under Pittsburgh on the season. And bad weather, I'm going to take that under to 42.5. Give me the Steelers under, and then give me the Broncos plus the 16. Those are the 3 picks. For the crowd and the Irishman himself. No, not the 3.5-hour fare. My buddy Gerard Haran. That's what's up, kids.
Yeah, I'm in North Carolina all weekend. You can go to catfishcooley.com for tickets, or you can check me out online, as always, at Gerard Haran on Instagram. Facebook.com/GerardHaranVT. Kevin will put the links in there. I got a couple of videos out. You can check them out. I got a new video about why you should give big men a chance during cuffing season. That's got a couple 100,000 views there, so give it a shot. And, just super excited to be with Andrew Kahn and Catfish Cooley for this North Carolina tour here. And if you're in the area, please come check us out. It'd be a lot of fun. Trust me, this is a can't miss show with can't miss characters. You're gonna want to see it live.
I think Time Magazine screwed up when they did not name you and I the man of the year instead of Greta Thunberg. The way we're killing it, huh? KevinGootee.com, fantasy football, Jibber Jabber. Don't forget, Gutting the Sacred Cow. New episodes going up later today with Dante Nero, where we talk about why the Star Wars The Last Jedi is not iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio. But more importantly, fantasy football, Jibber Jabber. Give us a follow. I just got paid $50 to do someone's lineup yesterday because they were wanting to make sure they were going to get the best insight to a lineup to win their fantasy playoff game.
Kev, I would like to say, you mentioned the fact that there was that mass shooting in Jersey City, and I live in Jersey City. It is a fantastic, fantastic place to live. The people are amazing. What happened is just it's so tragic. And as somebody who has a father in law enforcement, just want to say thank you and God bless you to every one of our fans and audience members who they themselves or their family are in law enforcement. I've obviously, it's well documented. I got some problems with our overreaching government, and I don't like a lot of our laws, but it's never about the people that have to enforce them. I have nothing but respect and truly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And I'm wishing everybody a happy holidays and a safe, end of the year here when things start getting crazy to all of our friends and our loved ones and our fans in blue there. Thank you guys. We're thinking about you. And again, don't let this give Jersey City a bad name. Jersey City is a great place to live. I couldn't vouch for it enough. I love it, and I love the great people of Jersey City. So I know we joke a lot. We push things to the limit on this show, and we get right there to the edge. But in a moment of sincerity, I do want to say thank you and all my love to both the great city of Jersey City and the people in blue.
Listen, there's nothing I can say better than what you've just said. So I'm just going to say, yep. And don't forget, we're doing, of course, 1 more week. Well, 2 more weeks, actually. We'll do a show for the Super Bowl for fantasy playoffs. And then we'll do an end-of-the-year recap. So week 17, we're there. And that's it, kids. Kevin the Crowd, Gerard, Haran. We'll see you next time, guys. Thanks again. Happy gambling. Get that free money. Take care, guys.